It's another day. It's today. We're gonna do one of the rooms called Web Fundamentals. It is a part of the CompTIA PenTest. I've already done this, so it's mostly something you need to read. There is a small CTF, capture the flag in the end, so it's not gonna be too difficult. So basically what I'm gonna do is talk and inform, about the different answers. Let's discuss them. So it is mainly something you need to read. So first of all, click at the button, question done, and then how do we load web pages. So this is a room that's just gonna tell you about and teach you what is the web basically all about. So so far in the learning path we haven't really discussed much about it and how it works. What I usually do is I could bring up Paint, I think it is, yeah, and then I could basically brush off something pretty fast, just saying like, if we had two servers here, the client and the server, let's assume that the client is marked with a C and the server is marked as an S. Then when you go ahead and on the internet, let's do a cloud. Do we have a cloud here? It doesn't seem like there's any shape as a cloud. I'm gonna do it then. That is a cloud. Or the internet. So what happens really is you go and send the request ahead through the internet, and that's gonna hit the server that you're going to communicate with. Basically you're gonna do something like whatever.com, and that is the actual request that's being sent to the internet. There's many different technologies involving how this request from your machine actually ends up at the server, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the CompTIA PenTest Plus at the moment, so I'm not going to talk about it. So what really happens is that when you make the request, the server's then gonna send a response back, and that's gonna hit you. So the same answer could apply. How does the server know that you are the receiver? Well, you send it, right? Let's just assume for now that every computer on the internet can be identified uniquely in some way, and that way we don't talk about right now, okay? Because it is too advanced. This is the internet, of course, so I for internet. Basically, this is how the web works. So you send the request and you get a response back. It is called the HTTP protocol, and something you will notice is that the HTTP protocol is stateless, which basically means that whenever you send a request to the server, whenever it responds back to you, it kind of forgets all about it, like, I don't remember anything about you. That is what stateless basically means. Now, for some of you guys that are a bit more keen in networking, you might say, but didn't you say that the HTTP protocol uses the TCP protocol, an underlying protocol, which is connection orientated? Well, yes, but it closes the connection. That is why it's stateless. So anyway, let's get right ahead and with the room. So basically there was a quick explanation from my side about how the HTTP protocol works and how the web works whenever you request a web page from your home to some external website. So you're gonna read all this and let's discuss the answers. So what request verb is used to retrieve page content? Now when you talk about the HTTP protocol, it got some rules, and it's got something called methods, and the methods is the different well, you probably think like method is just like a function like in programming. No, it's not like that. It's more like a textual representation of like this you see here, like it says get / online. Basically this is the method. So when you get something, usually you want to retrieve data, resources from the external web server to you. When you post something, like instead of get, it would say post, you're basically sending something to the external web server. Now, don't misunderstand that even though that getting is made for you to get a resource, when you post something, you can also get something back. That is very normal, at least. Think about it this way. Whenever you log in using your login credentials, you're posting that to the external web server. So when you get something back, right? You do get something back. So you see the web page. So yeah, I know people are asking me, why don't just have one method then? It's just, they can do everything, because that is not how it's built. And I didn't create it. I actually think it's a really good idea to have separate methods in the HTTP protocol. And I highly suggest that if you want to learn more about this, you go ahead and research the HTTP protocol. But it is the GET. Web servers normally listen to port 80. That is correct. The first 1,023 ports, from 1 up to 1,023 with that port also. We have something called reserved ports, which is basically a way for the whole world to know that if that the port 80 is used for HTTP traffic and the port 443 is used for HTTPS traffic. The port 22 is for FTP and the SSH, and so on and so on. So that is the actual agreement they made. Okay, what is responsible for making websites look fancy? That is cascading style sheet, which is CSS. The next group is going to be about more HTTP verbs and request formats. If you read all this text and understand what it says, you're going to learn something about responses, status codes, and so on. We already covered this. I did tell you that we're going to use a post request, and I did also use the example of a login, so you might already guess that. What verb would be used to see your back balance once you're logged in? You're getting a resource, you're getting something from the server. That is the only thing you want. Get doesn't really send anything, but don't hold your horses. Get can send some data. Whenever you have, type something and it's going to be in the top of your web browser, that's actually a GET request. This is where the browser will show you the GET request. Okay? And basically, that GET request can have, I think it's up to 2048 characters, I think it is. I don't remember the exact maximum length, but it is quite a lot of data you can send. But it's not like, you cannot send like a big image of megabytes like a post request is meant to do. Okay, so does the body get request matter? Yay or nay? But the body of the GET, it doesn't really matter. So that is why when you're gonna see a request, let's see if you have one. This is the actual request, and whatever you see up here in the top is gonna be GET requested. If you have some parameters, it's gonna be here as well. What is the body is below here and stuff. Is that important? It is not important. So let me see. What is the status code for I am a teapot? So I think it's something you should look up here at the link. Okay, what is data codes for will you get if you need to authenticate to access some content and you are unauthorized? This is 401, and basically the 401 is in the category of client errors. You did something wrong, like asking for something that doesn't exist. Going to the page I'm gonna open now, basically you will see 401 is going to be unauthorized, which is pretty normal to see when you're doing some GoBuster scans, trying to access folders, and that is really just what it is. Alrighty then, cookie tasty. I'm gonna read something about a cookie. Basically, a cookie is a small piece of data that can be sent back and forth. Going back to the drawing here, let's assume that we have a small cookie. Let's actually create one like this, and let's also create a small star in the middle, because who haven't watched Squid Game? So let's make it that color. basically this is our cookie, and let's just make it smaller and smaller, and it is beautiful. So cookie can be sent, you know, back and forth. So we can send a cookie we have to the server, and the server can then, you know, intercept that cookie and work with it, and the server can send a cookie to us that we can save and store on our computer. You can have some scripts running, like JavaScript and stuff, that's going to look at that cookie and use it as some like preferences or last chosen color of whatever background that they allow you to, you know, change. You know, it could be something like that. Cookies does have some information that can help, you know, the, you know, it's I wouldn't say it's totally BS, but you know, all this cookie nonsense about people saying, oh, our web page cannot work without cookies, you know, yeah, but it doesn't really, not that true, because a cookie is basically information they send to your computer so they can, you know, whatever they want to do. Not that much, but they can use it for statistics. What did you do? Which product did you click on? You know, stuff like that, to collect what is important for them to know. So that is really something they should inform you about, I guess. All right, so mini CTF. You know, I haven't really, you know, I'm not really gonna do it. I think this is for you. You can see the answers, the get, the post, the get cookie, set a cookie flag. I highly suggest you go ahead and try this. There's a tool called curl. You're gonna use that, and when you use curl, it is a text browser. Okay, it is a text request response browser. You're gonna send a request, and basically you're gonna get back the response. That's about it, you know. So do this mini CTF. It is really easy. There's also hints you can click on, you know, even gonna tell you what you're gonna do. Some of them, you know, also eventually you have to do some actual, you know, work to get your, well, how can I say, to unshaking your feet, right? If you get that. So this is the web fundamental room, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory what's gonna do about it. To complete it, of course. Now the next two rooms is called OWASP Top 10 and OWASP View Shop, and I really look forward to doing these two rooms because it's the basis of the first one of OWASP Top 10. I think it's the old OWASP 2017. Let me just see. Yes, it is, from what I see, the old, yeah, the old one. But you know, it's okay. It doesn't really matter if it's the old one. It's a long one. Okay, so this is the room that you know, I'm gonna do next time. OWASP Top 10, then Juicer, and we have Vulnerability. You can see that I have to complete a bit of it, but we're getting there. We have like I think without the rooms that I completed, we should be around 45-ish% done, I guess, I assume. And when we're done with that, we can get a certificate and we can get the 10% voucher for the exam if you want to do that. So I hope you like this video where I explain stuff a bit more in depth. Next time we're gonna look at the OWASP Top 10. Take care.